guys, Mike here again. Hope is alive. Hope has a name. Hope's name is Jesus. What an interesting week with Russia and the Ukraine being at war. In New Zealand, we've had protests, fires at Parliament, rioting, all sorts of carry-on going on. But it just took me back to a scripture in 1 Samuel 30. And the background to what I'm going to read you is that David and his men were away fighting. When they came back, the Amalekites had invaded and took all their women and children. So David had 600 men with him who at that stage wanted to stone him to death because they had lost everything. But he sought the Lord, he took refuge in God, and then he prayed, and God says, pursue them, overtake them, recover, you will not fail. And that's been such an inspirational scripture for this year, especially for me. So David does that, and then when he comes, as he goes to do that, 200 of the 600 men say, listen, we're shot, we're spent, man, we've got no juice left in our tanks, we can't go. And David said, you guys stay here and look after the supplies, and we'll go and recover the rest of the gear. So they recover the rest of the gear, they get all the women and children back, and then we come to verse 21. And it says this, then David came to the 200 men who had been too exhausted to follow him and who were left behind at the Bezor Valley. They came out to meet David and the men with him. As David and his men approached, he asked them how they were. But all the evil men and troublemakers among David's followers said, because they did not go out with us, we will not share with them the plunder that we recovered. However, each man may take his wife and children and go. David replied, no way, brothers. You must not do that with what the Lord has given us. He has protected us and delivered into our hands the raiding party that came against us. Who will listen to what you say? The share of the man who stayed with the supplies is to be the same as that of him that went down to the battle. All will share alike. David made this a statute and an ordinance for Israel from that day to this. Let me talk about a couple of things that are mentioned here. It talks about the 200. It says that they were too exhausted. I said the tank was empty. They were unable to fulfill the smallest task. They were absolutely spent. They had nothing left. They were so weak they couldn't even walk any further, let alone go into battle. And it's interesting, when they came back, David inquires of their health. He says, how are you? How is your welfare? How is your well-being? How are you up top? And I'm just thinking, these times that we're living in, are you inquiring after people? Are you asking after their well-being? Are you asking how their mental health is? That seems to be the thing. Just share with one another and look out for one another. Bless. Hey, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Hope is Alive channel and click here or here to watch more videos. Anytime you like.